Hey, what happened when Superman ordered Dunkin' Donuts, but then realized they forgot his donuts?
What happened?
Well, he went back to the Dunkin' Donuts, so I guess you could say Superman Returns.
That's a good one.
Thank
That's a good
you.
one.
Thank you.
I was trying. Yeah, I heard that one.
Oh, okay.
Oh, there we
I
are.
think we figured it out then. Great.
We just had to wait till recording.
Yeah, I guess so.
So he wanted Duncan. So you're saying? I guess you could say he was having a quest for peak. I guess you could say.
Yes.
Yeah, very good.
That's awesome.
That's great. And we're back. Hey, this is still Too Many Movies, the podcast where we discuss DVDs, Blu-rays, and even the occasional VHS tape. I'm your host, Hal, and welcome back, everybody, to another installment of Superman Summer, the summer of Superman. This time, I got Lili with me here. Hello, Lili. And I have Mafoony here making Mafoony. Hey, you're here too.
Thank you. Take my wife.
Very good.
No respect.
No respect at all, I tell you. Mafoony, welcome back. This is not your debut episode, but now you're not sick, so I kind of figure you'll be here the whole time. You won't like dip out halfway through.
Somehow Mafoony's voice returned.
Yeah. Well, welcome back to the show, guys. This is the first time you're here together, but you've been here before. But yeah, like I said, we're in the middle of Superman Summer, the summer of Superman. We got a couple of Superman-related movies to talk about. Starting things off, we're going to be talking about Supergirl. Wait a minute. This isn't Superman. This is Supergirl. What is this?
Oh, I need my money back.
Oh, you need your money
Take my money back.
Yeah, everyone who watched this movie did. Thank you.
I'm just going to be obnoxious about that the whole episode. I guess you could say bring it on. Oh, I guess. Okay, there it is. Yeah. Okay. Anyway, so yeah, Supergirl. So we've been going out of order because obviously I've already talked about all the Snyder movies, and we have talked about all the Reeve films up to Superman 4. This is technically the last Reeve film that we have yet to talk about, even though this came out before Superman 4, The Quest for Peace. But, you know, it's just such a weird movie, I figured putting it out of order. Who cares? Yeah.
You don't include it in the box sets anyway.
Right, exactly.
We're
yeah.
doing this in a machete order, I guess you could say.
Yeah. Yeah, no. So the Superman Collector's Edition I have does not include Supergirl. I just figured we'd include it because, well, Supergirl, and it technically takes place in the same universe as the Reeve films, because we have Jimmy Olsen, the only carryover.
Yes. Yeah. We love Jimmy Olsen.
We do. I like Jimmy Olsen. But anyway, I guess to start things off, Lili, what did you think of Supergirl 1984?
Well, I do like going to Popeyes, getting those black and tenders.
There you go.
Popeyes has been around so long.
Yeah.
This was his feature film debut.
Oh.
It felt trippy.
Well, no, that's a lie. This came out after the Robin Williams movie. Thank you very much.
That's right. Live action.
Oh, the most coked up movie.
Yeah. No, the most.
That's good, right?
No, but they don't serve Coke products at Popeyes.
So, like, I think there is like maybe a good movie in here somewhere.
Sure.
But I don't think this movie deserves to be on like worst superhero movies of all time lists.
Mm-hmm.
I think it belongs on a list of movies that I don't know why it ended up the way it did.
Yeah, I think that's fair to say. Mafoony, what are your thoughts? Your opening thoughts, at least.
So I have heard for years that this movie was like not necessarily terrible, just very strange
Mm-hmm.
in how it was put together, and I would tend to agree with that.
Mm.
I had just learned while watching it that there was a director's cut for this movie, which, I've never seen a movie with Superman or anything similar to have a director's cut before. That's like rare. I've never seen that happen before.
Mm-hmm.
Certainly not three
Nope.
other times.
Nope, never
But
happened.
I was like, halfway, I'm like, maybe I should be watching that version because maybe it would make more sense. Because like there are good things in this movie. Like it looks good for the most part. I don't think anyone's like a bad actor from this movie, and I think there's some interesting and neat ideas. It just doesn't come together. I was not like, how do I say this? Nothing really interested me in this movie when it was coming together.
Right.
It was like, okay, you have these things and they don't really fit in the end of the movie. Like I don't really feel like it came together in a satisfying way, if that makes sense.
No, it definitely makes sense because I agree. It did not come together in a satisfying way at all.
And there's a lot of really good actors in this movie, and I'm like,
yeah.
That how much do they demand for this?
I know. Yeah, literally Lawrence of Arabia himself is in this movie. Peter O'Toole as Zoltar.
Of course, as one does.
I mean, that's a great 80s fantasy name right there, Zoltar. So.
Oh, that's another thing I thought was kind of strange. I have never read Supergirl comics, so I wouldn't know this. The vibe of like magic and witches felt very strange for someone who has seen the other movies in this universe.
Right.
Because I don't think magic and stuff has ever been brought up before, so it's very strange.
It was strange. Because I would like to imagine Selena and all those characters are OC villains, which is very, very much in tradition of the Reeve films, where they just make up villains that have never been in the comics before. And yeah, making her like this evil witch character seems kind of very, this is a girl movie. We got to make the main villain a witch. It's like, oh, okay. Why? Why do you have to do that? Well, it's the 80s. I don't know. What? You think we have source material we can, extract characters from? I don't think so.
But base the comic book movie upon the comic it is based on? Silly.
Yeah.
Stupid even.
Absurd. Why would we ever do that?
Good question.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah. So for me, I definitely agree with you, Lili, in that I don't think this is one of the worst superhero movies I've ever seen. It's not great. And I was really struggling to try and find things to laugh about it. I was mostly bored throughout. It had its moments, but to call this the worst, definitely not. But I do think it's a shame that it's not a fun, so bad it's good movie. Especially because there are things about it that I think could be cool. I don't think the aesthetics are necessarily that bad. I kind of like the idea of making it a very kind of early 80s fantasy movie at times. But like, I just don't think it really takes advantage of that aesthetic. And also the pacing is just awful. The movie is 2 hours long, and that's absurd with what it shows.
Would you like it to be longer, like in the director's cut?
It's
30
2
minutes.
hours. It's like it's just 2 hours and 12 minutes.
Yeah,
pretty sure.
I don't know, because like I feel like a movie like this, where I don't know, I feel like it should maybe pull back the stakes. Maybe I feel like it would be better if it was a 90-minute movie and the stakes were lowered. Like it wasn't this end of the world witch making a mountain appear in the center of this fucking podunk town.
Can I be honest with you? I forgot what the stakes were in this movie.
I
was like, were they that big?
I remember.
Okay.
Thankfully,
yeah.
I remember, so you don't have to.
Oh, good. Oh, I know what that means. Reference.
So we have a MacGuffin. We have a MacGuffin.
A McMuffin, yeah.
Yes, the Omegahedron.
Mm-hmm.
And so during like fucking Kara gets sent to Earth to protect Cal, Clark.
Isn't she sent to get the McMuffin from because she loses?
So like,
She sends herself.
no.
No. Wait.
She gets asked to, but then she kind of already wants to go.
Oh, wait. So did you watch? Is this in the director's cut? Because I thought she like lost the McMuffin.
I'm
I watched the version on HBO Max.
I did too. I watched the HBO Max version,
which I think is shorter than 2 hours.
If it's sub 2 hours, then it's the US theatrical version.
Okay.
Which is like what, 90? An hour 45. Anyway, back to the movie. So we lose the Megahedron. We're trying to find it.
Mm-hmm.
She has a magic. She has the wristwatch.
Mm-hmm. I remember the wristwatch. Yep.
Yeah, the wrist game. Her Tiger wrist game.
Yeah, Tiger.
And it gets recovered by Selena, played by Faye Dunaway.
Goated.
Star of
Mommy Dearest.
Yeah, that's Mommy Dearest, star of Supergirl
and Gene Generation.
Yes. We. Oh right. Oh right.
You know what? To be fair, she's shown more in this movie than she was in Gene Generation, so I'll give the movie that.
Yes.
And honestly, her and her friend are some of the most fun parts of the movie.
Yeah. Her friend Bianca, played by the late Brenda Boyle Vaccaro. I don't know what she was in. Let me check.
Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, Kubo and the Two Strings. Oh, okay. She's been around.
She was Buddy Bravo in the Johnny Bravo show. So, yeah. She was Ardith in fucking The Critic. That's insane.
She was in Nestor the Long-Eared Christmas Donkey. Wait a minute.
What the? Remember that.
Remember that.
Yeah, animation royalty. But yeah, Selena is power hungry. She's a wannabe witch.
She's a witch.
She's a witch. And Kara arrives on Earth, and she in the director's cut, she has a scene where like she learns she can fly, and you can clearly tell that she's on like wires.
Yeah.
Which is why they cut it in the theatrical version, is because it looks dumb. But it's also like, we weren't really at the point where we could make that look convincing. But
right. Yeah. It
looked
looked weird when Reeve did it, but I feel like they were able to hide the strings better in those movies. I mean, as the movies went on, not really. But yeah.
Yeah, when they ran out of money.
Yeah.
Honestly, I think I could have done it, honestly.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
Oh really? You think you could have done better?
Yeah. So after that, she has to create a cover identity, of course.
Mm-hmm.
And she is now Linda Lee. Which is not a secret identity she has in the comics.
They make up a secret identity for the movie.
Who should we name our superheroine after?
They hate the comics. Oh. Is it the Salkinds? Do they just hate comic books? They just refuse.
Honestly, good. That shit's for fucking babies. Anyway. So whenever she becomes enamored with the school groundskeeper, Ethan, who
Ethan?
Yeah, his name's Ethan. And he looks like discount Ethan Hunt Mission Impossible 2. With his hair and shit.
Yeah,
and his 5 o'clock shadow in the movie's horrendous.
Yeah, it's Ellis from Die Hard, the douchebag from Die Hard. He's like, Hans, booby, I'm your white knight.
He kind of looks a bit like Christopher Reeve in some scenes.
Okay.
Am I just blowing blind?
Probably.
It's not. I could kind of see it.
Let's see. So, Selena also catches eye on him, makes a like a love potion to make him fall in love with her. You know, as one does.
As one does. I was like, why did she has like these plans for world domination, these like vague plans for world domination, and then she's like, wait, I have a great idea. I'll have everybody love me, and that's how I'll take over. It's like, yeah, okay, I guess I can kind of see that, but the way she goes about it is she's like, oh, I have to test this love potion though, so I'm gonna make this random hunky groundskeeper guy drink it, and if I'm the first person he sees after drinking it, he'll fall in love with me. It's like, this seems very complicated. Are you sure you can't just like, you know, take over in a different way? Like, I don't know, literally anything else other than this potion?
Okay, but here's the thing, Selena's kind of diva.
Sure.
She's easily like the best part of the movie.
Yeah.
So like, it's okay.
Okay, yeah. But then he drinks the potion, and then he's all groggy for a couple of minutes, and conveniently he's just walking around town and not looking at anybody falling in love with them.
yes, of course.
Okay.
And you know, then there's Popeyes.
Popeyes, yeah. This movie would fall apart without Popeyes.
Yes, Popeyes, and then there's just like fucking construction equipment that's not like held down or anything that like goes havoc and like tries to kill him and then that fails, and then he sees her and then he's like, oh, I'm so in love with you, and then Selena's like, no, and then that makes her fucking hate Supergirl, and then fucking Selena sends the dark forces after her.
Yes.
And then she tries to ward it off with a light post. And then we and then we finally have the confrontation with Selena, you know.
Yes.
And then she sends us to the Phantom Zone, and Peter O'Toole's there as Zoltar.
Zoltar's there, yeah.
Yeah, and he's
God.
like,
is he still alone?
The way his delivery is in the movie.
Hey, Adrian, I'm Lawrence of Arabia over here.
Hey, Adrian, you think I'm stupid or something?
Yeah.
Well, you did lose the McMuffin.
You know, and then she eventually escapes. By the way, this Phantom Zone bit's way longer in the director's cut.
Yeah, I noticed they went on for far too long too.
Yeah, and you know, she then when she returns to Earth after Zoltar sacrificed himself, very sad, very dramatic. Selena uses the Omega Hedron.
Yep.
To make herself a princess, and then Ethan is her lover and her consort, and then we fight, and then Selena makes another shadow demon, and then it's on the verge of feeding her when she hears Zoltar's epic voice being like, "You must fight," or whatever. And then she breaks free, and conveniently, other man character played by Peter Cook, who is he's a stand-up guy.
What is that, Nigel? Nigel, yeah. Oh, the Mowage guy from Princess Bride.
Yes,
I thought that was Alan Partridge.
No, it's not Alan Partridge. No, it's the Mowage. It's what brings us together guy from Princess Bride.
Yes, and then the demon turns against Selena, and then she traps Selena and sends her to the Phantom Zone with her friend Bianca, and then Ethan, you know, admits his love for Linda, and then he realizes that, you know, Linda and Supergirl are one and the same, and that he understands that they can't be together because she has to save Argo City. And then we return the Omega Hedron to Argo City, which returns to light, and there you go. That's the movie. Did you get all that?
Everybody got that?
Everybody got that?
Explain it again.
uh,
But go in depth on every difference between.
Go in depth, yeah, no. That's the thing. By the time you get to the climax, you're kind of just like, ugh, I don't care anymore. And it's a shame because that's when like the fantasy stuff starts ramping up and you think, oh, this is when the movie gets cool, but it's not because the fucking dragon fucking character that's pulling at her and the effects of her being pulled by the dragon.
Yeah, it's fucking stupid.
It looks very stupid.
Like the thing is that this having a Supergirl fight a magic character, that's nothing new.
No.
The comics have done that with super characters, and magic is a known weakness.
Sure.
And also, but like, we're like, you should like made a better script.
Yes. Oh yeah, that's my bigger issue. Like, forget the comics. I mean, the Salkinds did. But like, if you're gonna do these OC magic villains and you have Supergirl fight this demon and there's all these spells and magical potions and whatever, it's like, fine. It's goofy, but like, I'm fine with a fantasy movie being goofy like that. My problem is the execution of it all is so boring, and the movie, I don't feel like it takes advantage of these high fantasy concepts and makes them fun, like you're just bored the whole time.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think, Mafoony?
I was gonna say one of my favorite parts of the movie is during that construction rampage.
Okay.
Where just
where
that front loader that's just chasing him knocks a car into this the dress store, and some poor lady just gets hit. And that was like, I was just like, wow.
Yeah.
Like, that is some collateral damage.
Yeah, there's some collateral damage during that scene. Luckily, Popeyes is okay because
yes,
it's protected by the chicken.
Yes,
like I'm like used to just like having crowds, but like she got hit.
Yeah.
She's like, I think she might be one of the only people who died in this movie.
Yeah, I see. That should be one of the most exciting parts of the movie when Supergirl finally, reveals herself to the public and she starts helping people by like, stopping the rampant construction equipment or trying to save people from getting hit by cars. Apparently, but it's
beating up truckers.
Yeah, there's that scene where she comes to Earth for the first time and she's in the middle of downtown Chicago and she comes across these very not so good guys just being like, well, we got a little girl over here. It's like, uh-oh, how is Supergirl gonna get out of this one?
Well, I can see why you paired these two movies together now.
Uh-oh.
I gotta say that the one redneck dude, the bad guy, the bad dude that she meets, he sees her with like laser vision and holding up his other friend and throwing him into a wall, and he's like, I'm still gonna try and fight this lady.
Yeah.
Stop the shark in the shed.
Yeah, and then I mean it's funny at the end when they get beat up and then she flies away and he goes, Matt, let's never speak of this again. And he's like, I agree. It's like, okay, that could be funny, but I don't know. I feel like that scene goes on way too long. Like, it could have been 30 seconds, maybe a minute. I think it's like 2 minutes long, if I'm not mistaken.
2 minutes.
Yeah, it's just, it's too long.
And another kind of thing you mentioned, which, about like, how, it should be exciting that she's saving people. There is not a lot of action in this movie. I'm not saying that every movie needs like to be like punching and everything, but like
right,
there's like nothing that's like particularly exciting. That's like, oh, Supergirl's gonna do the thing and she's gonna do something here that's like really gonna be really cool.
Yeah,
like I know that the first Superman isn't like super action, but there's like a lot of stuff going on. So that when it does have something, it's like, oh, okay, now everything's building up to this. But here it's like I don't really remember much that was like a memorable set piece in that kind of way.
Yeah, the set pieces are not entirely exciting. I mean, there's the whole fact that Selena and her wizard friends, or like, yeah, Selena and her assistant live in like an abandoned carnival or something like that. Like, that could be cool. And they kind of have a scene where they use the rides to fight each other. Like there's that weird carnival ride where it's a bunch of football players all huddled up, and that's sort of like a bumper car sort of ride. I've never seen that before in my life. That's what I take away from this movie. This fucking weird NFL football player bumper car fucking
If
ride.
I was the South Pines, I would have sold those to like a random carnival thing just so I can make some money off this movie.
That would be cool. Yeah, just be like, ride the Supergirl NFL ride. It's like, okay,
I feel like these must
sure.
exist somewhere, like in some random carnival like attraction.
Yeah. Which, well, you have to mention, Lili, the one that she lifts Ellis out of, that one, the football player helmet has the Patriots logo on it.
Woo!
Yeah, let's go Pats. Let's go fucking
Let's go,
Pats.
Pats!
Yeah. It's the old logo. So it's not the new one, like the little wispy
Yeah.
flag looking one. It's the old one where it's the Patriot guy like kind of holding the football down.
Yeah. I remember that.
Yeah, I like that classic design. And
Yeah,
it's
Tom
cool to
Brady
see.
did that. Tom Brady did that a lot too.
Well, yes, of course, 6 times to be exact.
Yes.
So does this mean Tom Brady will be in the new Supergirl movie?
I
As
hope
an
so.
homage?
That'd be awesome if they had Tom Brady in the new Supergirl movie. I would love that. I would love to see that.
I love the Shaq bits that they do with that movie.
The what bits?
The Shaq bits.
There was a few ad bits where Shaq would look at the poster of the movie and he'd shake his head.
Oh.
Oh, well, there's another Superman reference right there.
Oh. There you go.
But
It's all connected.
Yeah. But yeah, I agree that like this film doesn't really have a lot of action, but not just beyond that, it doesn't have a lot of like it doesn't have anything to really hook you.
No.
Like there's no like interesting character dynamics or like
really.
anything interesting in terms of drama.
Well, yeah,
Like-
no, there's really not. I was going to say one thing I thought could have been really cool is if they more so focused on her being a new student at this high school, college.
Oh yeah.
Thing,
It
where
could
she-
easily made like a high school drama.
Yeah.
Or like Selena was like one of the teachers.
I was thinking that actually, yeah, like she becomes Linda Lee, where she's hiding out. She's trying to, I don't know, find the MacGuffin or something like that. But she's hiding out at this high school. She befriends Lois Lane's sister. And they're, they have hijinks ensue at this high school. She's playing like field hockey at one point. Like these are kind of cool scenes. Yeah, they're low stakes because they're not high concept fantasy scenes, but like you can still do something interesting with that, where you have like this high school drama. You expand upon having the characters kind of talk to each other, kind of interact with each other, form a bond, do something with that, just not have it for random sake.
I think kind of double down on what you said, Lily. Definitely make her a teacher because I don't think she should be playing. She's like 20 something in this movie, and she's supposed to be playing a high schooler.
Make
I
it
guess
college.
it was the 80s.
I don't care. Like, yeah, make it college or something. Like, you can easily do that.
Yeah, and like in the comics, one of the things was that they were like close to the same age, and she was older. And she was supposed to look after Clark.
Sure. So still have that aspect. Okay.
Which didn't happen.
Right. I mean, because if we're not doing comic accuracy, then I'm fine with her being younger than Clark and just like, she's just a teenager or early 20 something, like college age. I'm fine with making her college age in this new setting. Yeah, if you want to be comic accurate, absolutely make her older than Clark. That's fine. But I think with what this movie shows, it's like, yeah, I think you can still do something with the school aspect. Lower the stakes, because this is technically a spin-off, so it doesn't have to have the same kind of stakes that, your average Superman movie would. You can do something a lot smaller where she's fighting her evil teacher who's an evil witch or something like that. And you can still have the carnival aspect, like, oh, the carnival's in town, guys, let's go ride the Patriots go-kart.
That'd be awesome.
Yeah, still include Popeyes.
What we're saying is include it and put it in Boston.
That's
Boston.
Yeah, they put it in Chicago, which is really distracting.
Outside of Chicago.
Outside of Chicago, yes. Which is funny because the poster clearly shows her like flying over New York, because you have not only the Statue of Liberty but the Twin Towers in the background. They're never in New York. They're outside of Chicago.
Well, yeah, now they're not in New York.
Well,
Kara, where are the towers?
Yeah. Selena, where'd the towers go? Magic.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I mean, say what you will, this is definitely the best movie to feature Helen Slater as Supergirl.
Well, yeah,
Well,
correct.
I was about to say.
Correct, yeah. Because, yeah, well, by that we mean she was also in The Flash, technically. Did she come back for The Flash, or was that entirely CGI?
I don't know.
I don't know. I'm pretty sure it's like a deepfake
Yeah,
AI.
yeah, it might be. It's just, I mean, it looked distracting.
She was there at the film premiere, though.
Okay.
They
But
told her
also-
last minute, "You're in this, by the way."
Yeah. You're in this, by the way.
But let's see. I guess some more positive I can give. At least like, but on like a few shots of Kara flying over like cities and stuff.
Mm.
Like, the flying looks good. Like,
I don't
it
think it's
doesn't
a
look
bad visuals.
it doesn't look weird until, like I said, whenever it's like over the city, like
Yeah.
especially those nighttime flights, those do not look composite.
Yeah,
Well.
it looks about on par with what the Superman movies were doing at the time. You can tell they still had pretty okay budgets before Superman 4: The Quest for Peace. But yeah, I'd say it's about on par with that. But yeah, there are moments where you can start to see the cracks show.
Yeah. I don't remember anything about the soundtrack.
Well, so the
It's a pretty good
score,
soundtrack.
the score is done by Jerry Goldsmith of all people. It's like,
Oh yeah.
yeah, that I thought was cool because the music itself, I can't really discern a theme that's memorable enough to remember. Unlike, the original John Williams Superman theme, I can name that right off the bat because I know what that is. Whereas here, the music is good for what it is. It's just a little too generic melody wise. I can't really discern a melody from it.
Yeah. And I also, the director of this movie, he did Jaws 2.
Oh, funny thing about that.
Everyone's
I was gonna
favorite
mention that.
Jaws.
Like, so he did Jaws 2,
Mhm.
I believe mostly as like a favor, because I think the first director they had, studio politics were happening, so he kind of just hopped in to do that.
Right.
But his condition was that, okay, you guys owe me a favor at some point. And he cashed that favor in when he made a movie called Somewhere in Time, starring Christopher Reeve.
Really?
Oh.
Really? Okay.
Which also co-stars Jane Seymour. from Living Like
Wow.
That.
Oh.
Wow, look at that. Oh, apparently it's 3.5
And-
average on Letterboxd, so it's
And
something.
he did direct episodes of Smallville.
Okay. Oh,
It all
Like
comes back.
you could. I always feel like he probably was just a case of, I'm gonna do this as like just some extra cash so I can fund my other shit.
okay.
Pretty much. That's what I imagine.
Oh, apparently he passed away this year, January 14th.
Oh,
I didn't know
oops.
that. Yeah, I didn't.
Oops.
Rest in peace.
Oops. He died before we could make fun of him.
R.I.P. legend. No, but like, yeah, this definitely does feel kind of for hire. I can't really say
Yeah.
much passion was put into this, which is a shame because I feel like you can still make something kind of fun and goofy with this, even if it's not technically good. You can still have fun with it, but I don't know. Maybe it was just one of those things where he's like, I don't want to work on this. But I guess if he, made up for it by working on episodes of Smallville, I don't know I mean, I know what Smallville is. I haven't watched it, so I can't really.
More like Smellville.
I can't
I'm
speak.
just
I can't
kidding.
speak. I can't speak on its quality. So
Probably good.
probably. I don't know.
But I mean, yeah, I guess that's all. I guess that's all we have.
For Supergirl.
Great movie.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know what else there is to say.
Yeah, I will say it's not the worst. I want to make that clear. It's not the worst. I did enjoy it more than Superman 3. Superman 3 so far
Oh.
is the worst Superman movie I've seen so far. I can't
Let's
stand it.
go.
I can't stand that movie. It's so bad.
Yes. Big
Yeah.
horn.
Yeah. Oh, air horn. There we go. Yeah, no, Superman 3 sucks. I hate it. But Supergirl, it's also bad. but I don't know. There's some things I can extract from it. Maybe some ideas where I'm like, you could probably make this pretty good.
Yeah,
And-
like even if it stayed the way it was, but it just had a bigger budget, it definitely would have already been better off the bat.
Sure, yeah, you could really clean up a lot of the special effects, make them look a lot better. Yeah,
You could do something with the demon,
yeah. Not make
hire a
it,
choreographer,
not make it invisible. Yeah, like actually do something with it. Yeah, I would like to see that because I look at the Supergirl character design. I look at her costuming. It's not bad. I think it's actually a good costume.
Yeah,
design.
it looks better than the Reeve suit in 3.
Oh yes, yeah, I agree with that. Yeah, it's not bad looking. I don't know. There's just something missing with Supergirl. Even if I can't quite put my finger on it, I think it is just maybe a mixture of the weird budget that kind of dies out by the end, the weird pacing, the fact that it's way too long at points. There's something. I don't know what you could tweak to make it better, but there needs to be some tweaking in order for me to really love it a lot more. It's not fun enough to be a so bad it's good movie. So I'm definitely not going to be adding it to the collection anytime soon, or at all for that matter. I don't know. What do you guys think?
It's dull. I think that's the best way to say it. It's dull.
And
it didn't have to be.
No, of course not.
But
I don't think any movie deserves to be dull. It just happens that way.
Yeah, and like we have like people on this team that clearly can make great stuff.
Jerry Goldsmith, for example.
Yes, Jerry Goldsmith, the director of this movie, the cast.
The director of Jaws 2.
Yes.
Everyone's favorite Jaws.
Yes.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
I take it you're not adding it to your collection, Lili?
Not anytime soon.
But you do want to add Popeyes to your stomach.
Yes, of course. Wouldn't you?
Yes.
Wouldn't you?
Yes.
Yes. Yeah, I see.
Yeah.
Well, Mafoony, what about you?
Yeah, Mafoony, any thoughts?
I think it's just one of those things, like we said before, there's a lot of good stuff in here that could be like really good in a movie.
Mm-hmm.
I just don't think it came together particularly well in the end.
Yeah,
I think that's just there's a lot of like I said, not an ugly looking movie.
No,
not like no one's like particularly a bad actor in this movie. There's a lot of good actors in this movie.
Yeah,
but it just didn't come together in the end.
No, it's a shame, but at the end of the day, am I really gonna lose sleep over the fact that Supergirl 1984 was bad? No.
I will. I will lose a lot of sleep.
Oh yeah.
I like Ripley and Aliens. Where it's like I'm just in a cold sweat and I'm just thinking.
You're Charles Bronson in Cold Sweat.
Yes.
Raymond.
I'm
you're Raymond Burr during the bit in Godzilla 1985. Like rubbing your face. You like squint your eyes and you're just sitting at your desk at night.
Like dang.
Wait,
none of this shit affects me, but I'm creeped out by it.
Raymond Burr squinted his eyes in a Godzilla film? That's pretty messed up, dude. Jeez.
Oh, I should. No, I'll show you that in a bit, but
Okay.
You can do the transition in the meanwhile.
Okay. Anyway.
Material for the podcast one day.
Yeah, transition time, everybody. We're transitioning to the next movie we're talking about in this episode. That being a little film called Superman Returns. Oh, actually, wait. Let me play this clip for everybody. Oh, this is what you posted earlier of Raymond Burr just like in a room.
Farming.
What is the point of this clip?
Aura?
Aura. Okay. Aura maxing. Bring it on. Speaking of bringing it on, let's bring it on, guys, to Superman Returns. The other movie we're talking about in today's episode.
So,
30 years in
how?
the future.
Yes.
Who directed this movie?
A little
Oh,
director known as a very controversial director, I'll say that. I guess you could say the queen of controversial directors, because he directed Bohemian Rhapsody, you see.
Did he?
Partially. Didn't Dexter Jetster? No, what the fuck is that guy's name? Dexter.
Well, what do you know?
Hey, buddy. Take a seat. I'll be right with you.
Go.
What was I talking about? Oh yeah, Superman Returns.
Yeah.
We're returning to Superman Returns. Yes, directed by Bryan Singer. Well, good thing he's the only controversial person that's part of this movie's production.
Yes.
So anyway, who played Lex Luthor? All right. Unfortunately, there's another person, that being the guy who plays Lex Luthor, one Kevin Spacey.
Where's the boy?
Where is the boy?
For some reason, I thought they were going to say Kevin Smith for a second.
No, not Kevin Smith. Not Kevin Smith. Kevin Spacey. Because
He is connected to this in a little bit of a way, though.
Kevin Smith?
Yes,
Okay.
kind of. Sort of.
Because
It's related to his budget.
he's a nerd?
Oh, because you know how this is like one of the most expensive movies, like I think of its time, if not ever.
Is it? Or was it? Superman.
It's like 200 something million back in 2006.
Okay, yeah, back in
The
2006, that was outlandish. Meanwhile, nowadays, it's
The reason
common.
this movie is so expensive is because Warner Brothers basically took all the budget that would have been a part of the Kevin Smith, Nicolas Cage, Tim Burton years of Superman and just added it to this movie for some reason.
Okay, that makes sense. One of the biggest films of the year. Okay, oh, yeah, it had a budget between 204 to 223 million, and it only earned like 391 million at the box office. That's
Bring it on!
That's good, right?
Well, it's not good.
It's not good.
Not good. Wrong. Anyway, yeah, so Superman Returns.
Yes.
I have a bit of a history with this movie. Obviously, growing up as a kid, I was huge into Superman. I love the design of the character. I watched the Fleischer cartoons. I watched the original film, and obviously in 2006, this movie was coming out, and I remember my dad being like, "Hey, I'm gonna take you to the movies. We're gonna go see the new Superman movie," and I go, "Wow, okay, cool, let's do it." And I was like, what, 7 or 8 at the time? And I remember going to see it. And so for years, I've always kind of tried to figure out what my first PG-13 movie was in theaters. I used to think, well, was it X-Men First Class? Was it Captain America the First Avenger? But truly thinking about it, it was Superman Returns was my first. Because I saw this when I was like 7 or 8 years old in theaters. And I sometimes forgot about that just because I forgot this movie existed for so many years. But I saw it in theaters, and I remember at the time thinking it was weird. Like, not bad, because as a kid I couldn't really comprehend a movie being bad, you know, just it took me a while before I realized, wait a minute, movies can be bad?
All movies are good because they entertain you.
Exactly.
I just love watching movies.
And even if I didn't like something, I just didn't know how to process that. I would just watch it anyway because, well, what the fuck else am I going to do? Go outside? No, I'm going to watch this. So, yeah, I remember it being weird in the theaters. And I didn't watch it again until years later, like well over a decade later. Like, I want to say 2021 was the last time I watched it, when I was just like, let me watch it again. And even then, I was like, this is weird. I don't want to say it's bad, because I don't think it's a bad movie, but I feel like no matter how many times I rewatch it, I just come to the same conclusion. This is a strange movie. Mafoony, what are your opening thoughts?
Well, I didn't watch this movie when I was younger, though I do remember seeing the trailers a lot for it. It was definitely one that I remember seeing a lot on TV, and then I remember on the FX channel, this is a movie they would have frequently played trailers of, like to advertise for showings. So I don't think I ever actually got to watch it until maybe in the 2020s. And I think my thoughts then are kind of similar to my thoughts now. I think the first half of this movie is really, really good. Like, just straight up, I think the first half of the movie is really good.
Okay.
I think the production design is great. The cast is almost, I think, really good. But I think at some point the movie kind of loses it a bit. Like, let me try and put this into words better. I'm trying to think properly, like, the best way to say this. They got like the tone right. I think they get a lot of things right. I think one of the problems is that they try so hard to like, okay, when it's doing its own kind of new thing, it's really well working. I think the problem is when it's trying so hard to like be a sequel to the first two Reeves films.
Right.
Is I think where it has like its biggest issues. Like I think, like I said, the first half is like so good because it's like it's setting everything up and it's really interesting. But I think it kind of falls back onto repeating the formula from the first one, especially because, you know, Lex Luthor, I think, once again has like a not a real estate. It is a real estate style.
It is real estate, yeah, because he literally his plan is to create, like, not blow up half of California to make beachfront property. This plan is to just create a new island, and it makes America sink to the bottom of the ocean. just this ever-growing island just to make more real estate for him, which kind of rules, not gonna lie. It's not actually kind of a fun villain plan.
And another thing I was kind of mixed about, Superman having a kid.
Yeah,
is kind of.
Where's the boy?
He's bald.
But like, I feel mixed about that because I'm like,
yeah,
okay, but
why?
They don't do a lot of it. It's like, but why?
Yeah, why? Yeah, that is the question I was asking while watching it. It's just like, okay, yeah, you're doing the whole son subplot, but why? Like, where does it go? It doesn't go anywhere. Was it supposed to go somewhere in the sequels, maybe, which never happened? So,
like, I could understand like doing the whole, like, you know, Lois has moved on thing. I can understand that, but like being the kid in is like, but why?
Right. Yeah.
See, here's the thing. That's like, I would honestly say it's one of the most comic booky shit ever. Because if you notice, one of the big things that comic books like to do is cucking.
Fucking.
Cucking,
yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
Yes.
James Marsden once again involved in a subplot like that.
Well, yeah, it's James Marsden, of course.
In a comic book movie.
Wait until Sonic 4, where he gets cucked by Sonic.
Like, that's
a good point, actually. I think a lot of it has to do with the idea of like, oh, can a superhero have a meaningful relationship with their partner? It's like, well, yes, you can, but like a lot of status quo, I guess, kind of pushes it into like this aspect where they're just like, no, actually we can't, because, you know, we got to have the hero not be in a relationship. It takes away from the status quo aspect of the storyline, you know?
Fireman writers are like, yes, exactly.
Yeah, we want our main character to be miserable after all.
So, like,
another part that I thought, go ahead.
I think my thing with this movie is that I feel like it's, like you said, one of the big problems with this movie is this movie, like, is so held back by trying to be a sequel to movies that came out before most of its audience was born.
Yeah.
And like, also the Superman suit sucks.
Yeah. This has been a bit of a controversial aspect with some of my friends, where they're trying to argue whether it's brown or dark red. It's ugly no matter what.
I think it's a maroon.
That's what I said. I thought it was a maroon
this
too.
This is the original.
And then you called your friends a maroon.
What a maroon.
What a maroon. But
it's not a good suit, I will admit, because watching it, the red is way too dark. Like, it needs to be bright red, like the bright red in Supergirl's costume.
It's got that like 2000 shit going on, or like a
Very
shame to make
looking.
something like a bright red.
Yeah.
But like I'm reading up on the production of this film now. Apparently, during earlier versions of the script, we were referencing 9/11, which I think that would have been something.
It would have been
Superman-
bad.
It would have been plain
Superman.
wrong.
Yes. But also I could see how Bryan Singer, this is the only time I'm saying his name,
Mhm.
dropped Last Stand to make this movie, because even if that dude is like he's very clearly not a comic book fan, and his friends who are writers clearly are.
Mm.
Because Michael Dougherty, he wrote this movie alongside Dan Harris.
Yeah.
And Michael Dougherty is a person I can always believe is a fan of something to a very nth degree.
Yeah, he's the director of Godzilla King of the Monsters, for example.
Yes. And he has a Hellraiser movie that 100% will come out eventually, I swear.
Totally.
No,
let's just say, Louis, even if it's not out yet, it is still better than like most of that franchise, to be honest.
Well, I mean, that's not a hard thing to accomplish with Hellraiser.
Be careful, you're gonna
yeah,
raise
yeah.
hell with the Hellraiser fans.
Like, I think the thing is, if this movie was not trying to be a sequel to those first two, like, Reeves films, I think the lowest casting would be a little bit less, like,
Oh, that's what
jarring. Because
Yeah.
I think in a vacuum, what's her name?
Kate Bosworth.
Kate Bosworth.
Kate Bosworth, I think in a vacuum with the way she's dressed, she kind of has a bit of an image of early comic book Lois Lane.
Yeah, she can be a Lois Lane. I can totally buy her being a Lois Lane. It's just, yeah, like we've been saying, it's kind of a pseudo sequel to the Reeve films, so it's supposed to be a Margot Kidder Lois Lane, and she does not get that at all.
And like how Mafoony said in one of his old reviews, like, they literally have someone else in this cast who looks more like Margaret Kidder. Yeah.
Parker Posey. Oh,
He would have been really good as Lois.
Yeah, I could see that. Well, that's one of the aspects that's very weird to me about this movie. The fact that it's trying to be a continuation of the Reeve films. Because it's one thing to reuse the John Williams score, that kind of theme for the movie. It's one thing to do that. It's another thing entirely to include Jor-El, like Marlon Brando Jor-El, and all that stuff. Like, yeah, you're trying to have it be, or like, they reuse the fact that Lois wrote an article like "What I Spent the Night with Superman," because that's from the first movie. It's like, yeah, they're trying to reuse this stuff, but you can't help but wonder, okay, why though? Because those movies are late 70s, early 80s, and there's cell phones and computers in this world, and it's only been 5 years. It's only been 5 years since the last time, because like they say, like, oh, Superman's been gone for 5 years, and that's why he returns. Superman returns after 5 years.
Oh,
so, yeah. But like, why though? That's not. Yeah, that has nothing to do with the original Reeve films, because again, late 70s. Nobody had cell phones in the late 70s.
Yeah, I mean, like, granted, I could excuse that if, like, there was no if, like, it was very clear that this is, like, a world that's out of time.
Sure.
Kind of like retro style.
Yeah.
Retro style, sure. Yeah, because there's a bit of a noir-ish aspect to the movie for, like, a good chunk of it.
It's that Art Deco style, I guess.
Yeah, that Art Deco, especially in the especially in the Daily Planet building. There's that Art Deco style, yeah. But again, they very clearly have cell phones and computers in this world, so like it's just bizarre.
Weird.
It's this bizarre idea that, I don't know, did they think, oh, we can't do a different kind of Superman? Would that alienate people? Do we need to have these references to the Reeve films in order to draw people back into Superman? Because, yeah, I get it. Reeve Superman is very, very iconic. That first movie rules. But, like, I feel as though, Warner Brothers was able to do a different Batman. When they did Nolan's Batman Begins, they didn't, use the Batman 89 soundtrack. They didn't have references to the fact that they didn't have any references to that era of Batman. They just did something completely different and people still liked it. So like I don't understand why they can't do the same for Superman.
I think I'm glad you mentioned two things, because I almost feel like it's a really almost this movie almost feels really poorly timed, because if it came out, I think 10 years later, where kind of everyone was doing that whole like, that kind of retro style, like soft reboot style sequel, it would fit right into that era.
That's a good
But I
point.
think
Yeah.
it's interesting now that like in that time, Batman was kind of very forward looking and this one was very past looking. I think that's due to, like Lily said, I don't think Bryan Singer is a fan of the comics, but he definitely is clearly a fan of the movies.
Right.
That's probably where he leaned most of it.
Maybe. Yeah. Maybe.
Yeah, that's what he said in production. That
Okay.
the first Superman was one of his biggest influences.
Okay. Yeah, that makes sense then.
It's also interesting because I feel like a lot of people say, like, why is it hard for super movies like to do like necessarily gangbusters? Like, why did this movie not do better? And I think it's because Superman, due to the production of those movies that didn't get made, didn't really have a cinematic presence in the 90s.
Yeah.
So I think it's almost like he lost the decade of like people developing these. Batman was in the 80s and 90s,
and Batman
for better,
ruled the 90s. Yeah, for better or for worse,
Yes.
Batman ruled the 90s.
So like
I
it was
freeze,
almost like
I'm
it was like
Batman.
a lost decade for Superman, like that, where he's just not like on the popular conscience.
Right. So maybe they
Just
were
almost like by the time 2006 rolls around,
right.
it's like, okay, we have to lean on something.
Right.
Yeah,
Okay.
and
We
like,
didn't do the
Okay.
Tim Burton things. Now we got to do this.
Right.
and the only thing they really had was Smallville, and
Yeah.
that was like a prequel,
yeah.
like an origin story.
Yeah, that
where
wasn't
you follow
quite
Teen Clark.
that wasn't quite
It's like-
Superman, right?
Yeah, that more follows like in the veins of like the Superboy comics.
Right. Yeah.
And I-
which is kind of a
Oh,
shame.
just so-
Sorry, go ahead.
I'll say just one more thing, kind of what Lily mentioned, how in the movie Lois writes a thing called, does the world? I think why the world doesn't need Superman anymore.
Mhm.
They pose that question. I believe they
Yes.
pose that question. I just don't think they ever really answer it though.
No, not really.
Yeah, not really, no. Because I guess that's what the movie's like trying to I don't know, deal with, like, oh, does the world really need Superman anymore? It's like, well, he's a comic book character. I think you can adapt them to modern sensibilities. If you can take characters like Batman and Spider-Man and, adapt them to every decade and they still rule, like, you can absolutely do that with any superhero. It's just a matter of, using one's skills to do so. Like, the fucking Guardians of the Galaxy was not a thing until... I mean, they were a thing in the comics, but they were not a thing until the 2010s when James Gunn actually took a chance on them.
Yeah.
I think it's one of those things where, like, I do agree that it's kind of a hard plot point to do, because
Sure.
I believe the comic is called Superman Peace on Earth, I think is the comic. Or
Yes.
The one that's drawn by Alex Ross, like they literally show what would Superman do like now, if like with all these complicated things like politics and like countries happening, like, what would he do?
Mm-hmm.
And that's something that they tend to do in movies a lot,
Right.
but they tend to not have a good answer for it. Like, because, as peak as Superman Quest for Peak is, they don't really have a good answer.
They don't have a good answer because he just throws the nuclear weapons into the sun and then Lex Luthor creates Nuclear Man.
I think it's kind of funny how, like, even if you have your criticisms with Snyder's stuff, he at least gives a concrete answer, is that we need a Superman. Like, no matter how the world is, we need one.
That's fair. Yeah.
Like,
and
like it actually directly like the second that BVS directly goes, okay, does the world need Superman? And it's like, clearly yes. And then Snyder's Justice League is, we really need Superman.
We really need Superman.
Yeah, and it works. Like, it works because it's proving it. It's something that this movie doesn't quite do as much as it really could.
Yeah, it feels like, maybe not.
Hey, take him or leave him.
Take him or leave it. Yeah, but it's just such a weird question. It's like, I don't really think that matters. Like, I just want to see a fun Superman movie.
I think with the Returns case, it's very much like a case of like, because Superman had such a lack of presence, and like the most significant thing that happened to Superman since like the Reeves films was the death of Superman.
Right.
And that was
that's
10 years
right.
before this.
Yeah, that's right.
And that was a huge event.
Yeah.
Like the only significant thing of Superman in the 90s for people was that, oh, he died.
In the comics.
Yes.
Yeah.
And like, granted, the 90s Superman stuff, they're pretty good.
Okay.
But like the thing is that Superman, like, I guess we had the animated series
Mhm.
as well, and like that did good, but like it didn't do amazing. It didn't do Batman the animated series numbers,
Right.
or
right.
like get like exec corpoed in the way that show did. The
Mhm.
fact that they had to put Robin in the title, like and like, but the only real significance that Superman TAS had on Batman the animated series was that they changed the art style.
Hmm.
Like, as much as Superman had something in the 90s, it wasn't really enough. Like,
No.
there was no like Superman mania in the 90s the way there was Batmania.
Yeah. So I guess, okay, so in that case, sure, then making Superman Returns more of a kind of a what's the word what is the word I'm thinking of? Introspective into like trying to be a little more introspective on like, does the world need Superman, because they have gone nearly 20 years without him in the movies. So I guess I can kind of see why then they would have that. And yeah, like we've been saying, the movie doesn't really do a good job at answering that, because yeah, I feel like that whole like, oh, why the world doesn't need Superman, you know, the movie doesn't really have a moment where like, yeah, you have Lois typing at the computer at the end that says like, oh, why the world does need Superman. It's like, yeah, because he saved everybody, because he does do that, but like, it's a superhero movie, he's supposed to save people, you know. It's just one of those no shit kind of moments.
I think the thing is too is that we don't really see a lot of saving from Superman. Like, we don't see we don't really explore like, okay, now that he's back, like what does this mean? Like we try, but like we don't really go big on it.
Right.
Like,
it doesn't happen as often as it probably should. He does have moments where he saves Parker Posey in the car. And he does. I mean, he does sort of, because like, you know, the big moment at the end when he's lifting the island into space, the Kryptonite island into space, that is technically saving everybody. But I guess you're right that it doesn't. I don't know, that moment doesn't feel as triumphant as it probably should. I mean, he's literally lifting a fucking island of kryptonite into space. Like, you should be like getting up and like clapping seeing that. But you're just like, yeah, good for you, Superman.
Good Superman. I will give credits where credit's due. I do like John Ottman's score for this movie.
Yeah.
It's pretty good.
Yeah.
He and the way he uses the John Williams theme, it works.
Yeah.
I like some of his new renditions of it.
Yeah, I like the score. Again, I don't really think that's because the movie I don't really think that's because the movie came up with it, because it didn't. Like, obviously this is a score we've seen before in other movies. But that doesn't necessarily make it bad. You can reuse a score from a previous film, and if you use it well, you use it well. I just can't say, oh, this is the best music I've ever heard in a Superman movie.
Yeah, no. I don't know. I'm so conflicted on this movie.
Yeah, because I don't hate any of it, but it's not particularly grabbing me as like, oh, this is the ultimate return for Superman, you know?
Like there's that first half especially is like the bits where I feel like I actually feel something during that first half of the movie. Like whenever like we have Clark eventually return, we have like stuff like the plane bit. That plane bit's really good.
I love that. Yeah,
it was really good. And then like we have like bits of him flying around, or like finding out about what happened to the world since he's been gone. Like, all that stuff is really good.
Yeah.
Like that's when the script's really shining. Like, but then like the rest of the movie happens. And it's like, why aren't we following up on all that stuff? And I guess like it's because it, as I think either one of you said it has to go back to formula.
Back to formula.
Back to formula. And like it, like I also am not a big on Lex's plot. I think it's a little too out there for him. Like Lex can, like, I guess in terms of like it's so it doesn't fit Lex as a character.
How would
Like
you,
even in
say
context
so?
of the and the like in the context of the movies, like I guess it's probably because it's played by Kevin Spacey.
Sure.
I don't know.
See, because like my thing is that I was watching the movie and I'm going, it's so unfortunate that he's probably my favorite actor in the movie because I think he does the best job. I again, yeah, bring it on. I don't know. I just really like. It's not Hackman, you know. Like it's obviously it's still a different kind of interpretation of the character than Hackman did. Again, I'm fine with not so much in the fact that like, okay, is this supposed to be a sequel? Because in that case, it's not a good portrayal. But at the same time, I think he still is able to make it his own, separate from Hackman. That I still like a lot of his lines, a lot of his performance. I definitely like him more as Luthor than I do. I don't
as a person.
Yeah, well, yeah, obviously. Yeah. Yeah, I guess you could say my love for Spacey is well, no, it wouldn't be out of this world in Spacey.
Where's the boy?
Very much in this world.
Yeah.
Very little.
Yeah, underground.
But I mean, I guess we could talk about Clark.
Yes.
Because obviously this is Summer of Superman. We gotta talk about Superman.
Superman is the main character.
I like this is kind of a thing that's kind of generally grown. Brandon Routh is a great actor.
Yes.
Like and I feel bad that this some kind of like waned people away from giving him stuff. Because like, and granted, there are some bits in this movie where I'm like, that direction could have been better. Yeah, I don't really blame him.
No, not at all.
Like, and I'm glad like future material has brought him back, even if some of the ways they do is really stupid. CW
stuff.
Yeah, but like, and I love his Kingdom Come suit in that.
Okay,
looks way better than this suit.
Yeah, I don't hate Routh either as Superman. I think there are elements because I'm not in love with his performance. I think a lot of it is being held back, and I think it's due to the direction, not really him. Because there are elements where I'll see him say something and I'll be like, oh yeah, that's Superman. Like when he saves the plane, he goes onto it. He's just like, well, I hope you people are not scared of flying because statistically speaking, it is the safest way to travel. It's like, okay, yeah, that is totally Superman. But then a lot,
but I disagree with him though. You can't make an awesome plane set like you can a train set.
Right.
And that's why I like Lex Luthor. He made a huge train set.
Hell yeah. I love the train set. Even as a kid, I was just like, hell yeah, train set.
Yeah, I knew like this. I knew like that'd be something I would bring up eventually because I know you would also be like, yes.
I love the train set.
That train set's fucking awesome.
Dude,
I want one.
I would play with that.
Why did he destroy it?
Well, that's how you know he's a villain.
Oh, of course, because we wouldn't do that.
We wouldn't do that. No, I love the little detail though of when the trains are like when some of the trains are starting to crash all over the little people characters. They added scream sound effects on those little characters.
Yeah, that was so funny.
I'm like, that's so dumb. Like, but I love that they did that. Like, I wouldn't want the movie any other way.
It's camp.
Yeah, it's camp. I love that.
But like, yeah, I like. Well, I already said the suit sucks.
Yeah, it sucks.
But like, I do kind of see why they like cast him if they were gonna have someone who kind of has like a bit of a spitting image of Reeve, because like there are points where he looks like him, and he definitely has like the jaw structure.
Yeah,
but like. But I'm glad he also still tries to give his own little flair because he does look like Superman.
Oh yeah,
like he has that kind of boyish charm that Superman should always have.
You definitely, boyish charm is a good way of putting it. Definitely, you definitely need a Superman with a boyish charm.
Yeah. Which I feel like everyone except Dean Cain has.
Well, yes.
Fuck that guy. Fuck that guy.
Dean Cain's what? 97 years old.
He's someone.
If only we could get Dean Cain in a movie with Kevin Spacey.
Oh.
Then we'd have it all.
Oh, Agent Toby Barks too. Because he was in the movie
Right.
Agent Toby Barks.
Get on the phone.
Yeah. Toby, I got a picture for you.
But yeah, I like this movie.
I don't hate it. I really don't. I can't think of anything that offends me about it. I can't think of anything that like I think is bad inherently. It's not a bad Lex plan. It's not a bad. Where's the boy? None of the actors are inherently bad. I like Kate Bosworth as Lois. I like the Jimmy Olsen guy. I like Frank Langella as Perry White. I think if they like did more with these characters and maybe the directing was better, you could definitely make something amazing. As is, it's fine. Nothing about it is confusing as to what it's supposed to be. Is it supposed to be its own thing, or is it trying to be a sequel to the refilms? I think if it was better at trying to be its own thing, I would like it a lot more. Well, I guess Lex Luthor disagrees with me.
Like, I don't know, Mafoony, what do you think?
Yeah, you haven't said anything in a while.
Yeah, I think I agree with what I was saying. Like, I think I'm not that big on Kate Bosworth as Lois Lane, but I think that's more so just she looks too young to be
Lois Lane.
She doesn't have like that kind of what's the word I'm looking for? That kind of tone that Margot Kidder had.
Shinra Jira, go fuck yourself. Shadow ban me. Lois Lane.
Lois. But,
sorry, before you continue.
I think there's a lot of good stuff. This movie's just it's good. I do think it's a good movie, but it could have been a great movie.
Yeah.
And that kind of sucks about it.
Yeah, because I look back, 20 years ago at Batman Begins. I still love Batman Begins. Obviously, I love The Dark Knight even more.
By the way, happy birthday to that movie, by the way. Came out today.
Came out today. Holy shit.
20 years ago.
Holy shit. What are the odds? Wow, that's incredible. Batman Begins.
Yes. So let's talk about Batman Begins.
Oh, man, I haven't seen it in a couple of years, but I still love it. I think it's a really good film. And I guess looking back on it, I guess it was a bit of a risk because, we're trying another Batman movie post Batman and Robin, which, say what you want about Batman and Robin, it's not as bad as people say it is. It's not good, but,
it's fun.
It's fun. All right, bird boy, chill. Or stay cool, bird boy.
Never leave the cave without it.
A bad credit card?
Because I know we compared this kind of to Batman Begins and how they're kind of very different.
Yeah, because Batman Begins is trying to be a new thing, whereas like Superman Returns is kind of stuck in the past.
But you know what super movie I think kind of looked to the Reeves films and actually did a really good job of setting that in the modern time? Spider-Man trilogy.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. Because that's often seen as like a beloved superhero trilogy, and they're goofy movies, but like they were still able to kind of get across.
And the third one also explores a darker half of the character.
Yeah, we talked about that with Superman 3. Obviously, Spider-Man 3 is superior.
That about
Yes.
About Spider-Man thing, I'm like, dang, I had no idea they were patterning these movies.
Yeah, that's a good point. That's true because Superman 2.
But unlike Superman 2, Spider-Man 2 is peak.
Oh, Spider-Man 2 is way better than Superman 2. Yeah, because both movies they lose their powers, but Spider-Man 2 did it way better than Superman 2. Yeah, no, that's a good point. Yeah, the Spider-Man trilogy was able to recapture that kind of corny comic book movie theme / tone that the Reeve films got right. Well, just the first one. Better than Superman Returns did. Yeah, no, I think Spider-Man really captured that better.
Dude, this is awesome. This means that in Spider-Man 4, he's going to He's gonna fight fucking Stiltman.
Nuclear Spider.
Yeah.
He's gonna fight the mutated tarantula from the Roger Stern Spider-Man run.
Ooh, there you go. Mutated Spider. He's gonna be like, hello, United Nations. I'm Spider-Man. I'm gonna take away all your nuclear weapons.
Yes, he's gonna be like that.
He's gonna launch him.
It's gonna be so awesome.
He's gonna launch him into space and put him in a giant spider web and launch him into the sun.
Yes, that would be awesome.
I would love that. That'd be great. Yeah.
A giant spider.
Yeah, giant spider. Mr. Feige, you better be listening. I have some ideas. Hire me for Spider-Man 4.
Genuinely, yes.
Yeah.
I want to see.
That'd be fun to see. Yeah.
It'd be better than another multiverse.
Well, yes.
It'd be better than those fucking stupid baby movies, Spider-Verse, honestly.
Well, because mine wouldn't be animated. Mine would be in real life. You know, like why would I make something for babies? I want to make something for grown men.
Yes.
I'm doing it in live action, no animation.
Yes.
Not even CGI.
CGI is different. I'm gonna make it look real. CGI. Yeah, bring it on.
Bring it on.
I kind of want to talk about the wrong scene because
let's do that.
It's a great meme. Why did it become a meme? Do we know? Is it just because it was just so out of left field, him screaming wrong?
That's why.
Yeah.
It feels like right for YTP bits.
Oh yeah, that too. I remember seeing it all the time in YouTube poops because
I think I've seen it in a YouTube poop before I watched the movie.
I mean, yeah, that sounds about right. Oh my god, so Davis Gore.
Yeah, same here.
But it is really funny. I just love him just building up to it, just being like, "Oh, I know what you're gonna say. It's on the tip of your tongue. Come on, I just want to hear it." Superman will wrong.
No, wrong.
It's also one of those lines you can't replicate. Like, you know, like you can try and say it the way he did, but he really nailed it with that take, and it just wrong. Like it just burns in your memory.
They should make a version where it says right.
Bring it on.
Bring it on. Play it one more time, Lily.
Play it again, Lily.
Yes. I'd
like to think he improvised that.
Maybe. I hope that's the only thing he improvised on that set.
Oh boy. Did he improvise being bald?
Where's the boy?
Bald. God. I guess we still got things to talk about. Yes.
Wait.
Who's that good-looking guy?
Yeah. I'm sorry. What did Mafoony say?
You think they buffed his head out with like a buffer, to get that real shine going on?
Oh yeah, that's what you were joking about. I guess I
can see Brendan Rock's reflection.
Yeah. I did want to say though, because we had mentioned this earlier, the whole son aspect. That's a weird twist. The cucking. It is a weird twist because, you know, they say like, "Oh, who is this boy's father?" And she goes, "It's definitely Richard." Where's the boy?
Where's the boy?
But but then later in the film, obviously the hired goon is about the hired goon with the Joker face on the back of his bald head is about to kill Lois, and then the kid, like the boy, throws the piano at the hired goon, killing him. It's like, oh, okay, so there's no mystery about it. It is absolutely Superman's son. Like, okay. And then you're just left with that for the rest of the movie. And then I guess there is that scene towards the end where Superman creepily stalks his child in the bedroom in the middle of the night.
I mean, like, that aside, that scene is very sweet, and I like how it ties into like the Jor-El's speech.
Yeah.
That we hear throughout the movie.
I like that. I like that.
It ties into the movie very well in terms of like legacy, but like And why did we have to do it with cucking?
Right, yeah, no, that is, yeah, why did, I get it, I mean, he's been gone for 5 years, and here's a boy, and I'm with somebody else, it's like, oh, okay, but then they do the whole, like, oh, it's actually your son, so, poor James Marsden, I feel bad.
I mean, like, I will say, though, this movie could have easily made James Marsden, like, very unlikable.
Yeah.
But, like, they kind of make his character, like, likable. Like, he's fine.
I don't know. Yeah, I would have hated that if they made him like a dickhead. Like, I wouldn't have liked that. I'm glad they go the Drive route where he's not a dickhead. He's actually a very understanding kind of person. Yeah, I like him, but I guess it does kind of make the reveal of the cucking even more more stinging, because you're just like, oh, well, now I feel bad for him, you know?
I mean, as long as he gets to raise him, you know?
Yeah, I guess there's that aspect. I don't know, it's just a weird aspect, because, yeah, by the end, I don't feel we learn anything about him becoming a father. So, I don't know. It's just a weird aspect I feel like the movie kind of introduces and then doesn't really do much with. It's not bad inherently, it's just bizarre. Like, again, that's the theme of the movie. It's just bizarre.
What do you think of cucking Mafoony?
What are your thoughts on cucking Mafoony?
It's something I definitely thought I'd never seen a Superman movie, that's for sure.
Good answer. Good answer.
Good answer.
Good answer. Golf clap. Good answer.
Do you think... Oh, no, I'm not going to say it. I was going to say, do you think the chair is also in this universe?
Yo.
No, chair.
Yeah, the cucking chair.
So strange that this is the second comic book movie James Marsden where he gets cocked, essentially.
Yeah.
Like, is that, like, what if they, in the next Sonic movie, they introduce, like, this new girlfriend he has named Elise or something, and,
Or Maria. Maria, too.
Oh.
This time she's an adult, though, so it's okay.
That's another Bryan Singer, I think, I guess.
No, if it was a little boy, Bryan Singer would be interested.
Can we talk about the most poorly aged line in this movie? Chills. Not the kind they were expecting.
Where's the boy?
Where's the boy?
And what makes it even worse, not only was it directed by Bryan Singer, that line, it was said by Kevin Spacey. Yeah, it's just a whole... It's
a menagerie.
It's just a whole whirlwind of this aged awfully. This is the worst.
Awfully good?
Maybe.
And wait, hold on.
You're wrong.
I was gonna say the Marlon Brando lines. Do we consider that something on the level of what they did with the Flash, or is it not quite there?
Not really, because they're reusing footage that was already filmed of Jor-El and as, like, you know, so like it's not
Necromus or anything.
Yeah, it's not like the Flash where they just CGI'd the actor's likeness and plopped it in the movie where it didn't belong. You know, they just.
Truthfully, I do wish he was alive in this movie, because he would have been such a pain in the ass to Bryan Singer.
Yeah, because Marlon Brando was just a pain in the ass in general.
He likes rubbing his belly.
I know, but he died in 2004 because he was suffering from too fat-itis, I guess. I don't know.
All the Kit Kats he ate.
I like rubbing my belly.
Do you remember the line that I showed you about the Apocalypse Now article?
Yes, I remember.
What happened?
This is a real line from the article. How I'll try and quote this.
Yeah.
Francis Ford Coppola saw his early work and was ready to meet a lean and hungry Green Beret for the role of Kurt. And when Brando arrived, he was hungry, all right.
Brando was hungry, all right. Yeah.
Honestly, it'd be crazy. Like,
that's what he meant when they said, "You're an errand boy sent by grocery clerks. Now go back to the grocery store and get me food."
Bro,
give me Kit Kats.
Get me Kit Kats. My son Kal-El, get me Kit Kats. I'm hungry. I'm the reason Krypton got destroyed. I ate it all. I'm just floating in space now because I have a giant Krypton-sized shape in my belly.
Where did Krypton go?
Jor-El, where did Krypton go? I
also love this article where Jack Nicholson's daughter describes Marlon Brando walking down the street like a Godzilla monster.
wait, let me read this. We'd eat dinner after 9 p.m., and though we never saw him, my brother and I lived in constant terror of our reclusive neighbor, Marlon Brando, who could come lowering down our shared driveway in search of ice cream at any moment, trailed by his pair of snapping black English mastiffs. Oh, I thought it was going to say trailed by his pair of English muffins.
Okay.
That's
fuck.
That's about tis. Oh my god. Oh, I don't know if we're gonna top fucking Jor-El eating Krypton or fucking Jack Nicholson's children being afraid of Marlon Brando because he's so fat.
Is that a Batman connection?
Oh my god.
The Joker's children fear Jor-El.
Yeah. Well, as you can see, my children, they're afraid of Jor-El because they're afraid that he's going to eat them like he ate the planet Krypton. Never rub another man's rhubarb. And by that I mean don't rub Marlon Brando's rhubarb because he's eating it right now.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
Anyway, anything last minute we have to say about Superman Returns before I decide if I want to add it to the collection or not?
I don't think we can top that. What we just discussed.
Yeah, okay.
If you don't add it, Marlon Brando's going to eat it.
Yeah. Mr. Brando, can you stop eating my DVD copies of Superman Returns?
Oh, that reminds me. One time I went to a kind of a store that was like they'd have a secondhand. It was like almost a convention. It's called Frankenstein's in LA. They have like this kind of gathering of like booths, people selling kind of nostalgic stuff every like week or so.
Okay, kind of like a farmer's market or a flea market.
Kind of like a convention almost.
Okay,
but they used to be connected to this kind of store that would have secondhand stuff, and they had, I shit you not, a shelf full of Superman Returns DVDs.
Oh.
You should have bought them.
You should have bought all of them, yeah. They were like, what, 1 cent?
Probably $1.
Yeah, you should have bought them all.
Oh, that would have been great. I would love to,
number one Superman Returns fan.
Yeah, I would have bought one off of you.
Yeah, nothing you could buy off of him though. His copy of Never Say Never Again on DVD.
Oh, man, I would give you that for free.
Oh, okay. It's the one James Bond movie I don't own. Well, that's not true. I don't own No Time to Die because I got the James Bond collection long before No Time to Die. Not long before, but the year before I got it.
Sure, we'll make another one anytime soon, right?
Yes. No.
For sure.
Well, I guess James Bond said No Time to Die, and then he died.
Wrong.
But you know, you're wrong. What have we learned today, boys and girls? Supergirl and Superman Returned. That's what we learned, is that Superman returned. Bring it on! That's what Superman said when he returned. He said, bring it on.
Say that again?
Maybe the true Superman was the friends we made along the way.
Oh my god.
Maybe the true piece was the friends we made along the way.
The fucking Fan 4 stick clip got me good.
But how would you like to add Superman Returns to your collection?
I don't know. I wouldn't be opposed to it. I think honestly, if I could get one of those DVDs for Mafoony was talking about for $1, yes, I would. I would get that. Yeah, bring it on. I would bring that on to the collection.
Only this one also has a director's cut.
Does it have a director's cut?
I know, maybe one day. I don't think the
There are
release-
deleted
I don't-
scenes for the movie.
Right.
I don't think Bryan Singer can quite amass release
No.
the Singer cut movement. I don't
Yeah.
know if he has that much.
That's gonna get like one retweet is from a Bryan Singer account, and then it'll be deleted.
True.
Yeah. So it will probably never happen.
No wrong get for that.
No wrong there. All true.
On May 3rd, 2009, almost 3 years after the debut of Superman Returns, filmmaker Quentin Tarantino declared his appreciation for Bryan Singer's directorial work on Superman Returns, and that he would write a 20-page review about Superman Returns.
Did he?
I don't know.
Oh, what a
He can't
weird.
even make his last movie allegedly.
I don't know. I'm just bringing this up for no particular reason in light of recent newses.
No, that's a that's a good fun fact to have.
I just gotta say, rest in peace, Bryan Singer, who will probably die in a car crash on February 13th, 2025.
Well, come back to this episode, folks, when that happens.
Yes. Know who to blame it for.
Yeah.
Yes, or to thank.
Or to thank. Depending on who you are, yes. Blame, thank,
yes.
Same thing.
Yes.
All right. I think that's gonna do it, folks. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time for more Superman Summer.
Yay.
Lili, I have one question though.
Yes.
Where's the boy?
Where's the boy?
I also have another question. Bring it on.
Bring it on!
And wrong? Yeah. All right. Bye-bye, everybody.
Good night. And good night.
Just